The world was told the Titan submersible's implosion was a tragic, unforeseen accident. That's not true. The truth is much more disturbing. This was a predictable disaster. The warnings weren't just missed, they were silenced. On June 18, 2023, the Titan's fate wasn't a matter of if, but when. First, the story you were told. OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush was an innovator, making deep-sea exploration affordable. His sub, the Titan, had a radical design, a carbon fiber cylinder glued between two titanium end caps, a cheaper option than an all-titanium hull. He claimed strict safety rules just stifled innovation. On June 18th, the Titan began its dive to the Titanic, and then it went silent. A massive search ended 4 days later when a debris field was found. The sub had imploded, killing all 5 passengers, but that neat story falls apart. This accident was actually predicted in writing 5 years earlier. This wasn't a case of pushing the envelope. It was a case of ignoring every red flag. The dark truth isn't hidden in the ocean depths. It's in court documents and expert warnings that were deliberately ignored. The Titan's biggest flaw was its celebrated carbon fiber hull. Experts warned it was an unproven material for deep-sea pressure, one that could weaken with every single dive in ways that are impossible to see. This wasn't a secret. In 2018, the Marine Technology Society, a group of top experts, sent a letter begging Stockton Rush to get the Titan certified, warning his experimental approach could have catastrophic results. Rush refused. The most damning warning came from his own director of marine operations, David Lockridge. In 2018, he wrote a terrifying quality report. He insisted the carbon fiber hull needed to be scanned to prove it was safe. OceanGate refused. Instead, they would just listen for the sound of cracking fibers, a system that would only alert the crew milliseconds before an implosion. Even worse, Lockridge discovered the main viewport was only certified for a depth of 1,300 meters, less than a third of the way to the Titanic. OceanGate wouldn't pay for a properly rated window. When Lockridge refused to sign off on manned tests, he was fired. OceanGate then sued him to keep him silent. This is the dark truth. The Titan implosion was not an accident. It was the direct result of Stockton Rush's choices. He was told repeatedly by experts inside and outside his company that his submersible was a death trap. He knew the viewport was underrated. He knew the hull had shown signs of breaking down on previous dives. Yet he called safety concerns personally insulting and pushed forward. This was a conscious decision to put his vision ahead of the lives of his customers, who paid $250,000 for a ride on a vessel that insiders knew was a disaster waiting to happen. The official investigation is still unfolding. To stay updated and understand the choices that lead to disasters like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Your support helps us find the truth behind the headlines. In the end, 5 people lost their lives because of one man's unchecked ambition. Forget the conspiracy theories. The real conspiracy was the negligence and silence inside OceanGate, led by a CEO who thought he was above the rules. The Titan imploded because it was designed and operated in a way that made failure inevitable. So the real question isn't what happened to the Titan, but why was it ever allowed to happen at all?